Alright, back again with yet another full power Frieza nuke. This is pretty much the only way I can beat this guy, is to use this fusion nuke tactic. I know some people have run like dual Broly leads, and it's worked out like living Ichigo, but I don't have Broly, I don't have that luxury, so I'm just going to have to live this hard knock lifestyle now, so woe is me. But I don't even want to talk about the gameplay really, because in my last video, which was a live commentary, I actually tried to talk about a couple things, but I got so badly fucked up by full power Frieza, I could barely think, never mind talk. So I got wrecked, to say the least. But a lot of things have been going on recently in the past week, even just this weekend in America, if you haven't seen the news. I mean, yesterday, one of the worst massacres in American history, 50 people killed and 50 people wounded by a gunman who ended up pledging allegiance to ISIS. And later on, ISIS saying, yeah, we endorse it, it's amazing, good job. So yet another threat to American sovereignty and national defense. And then even earlier in the weekend, the voice singer, I can't remember her name, but she's fairly popular. I mean, shit, I know of her. She ended up getting shot by yet another stereotypical white guy serial killer type, which is, you know, if all we were missing was a rebirth of the DC Sniper, and you'd have your whole three triumvirate of races and racial murders going on. You know, you have the stereotypical white guy serial killer type of dude, and then you have the Islamic terrorist, which is, you know, just yet again, and then you have the DC Sniper, which would be great, just another black dude in the back of a van popping heads. But, you know, and the third thing, which not a lot of people really know about, nor do they really care about, but I only mention it because it's going to play into what I'm about to say, is that the Ninth Circuit Appellate Court of California recently, in the past week, ruled against a claimant saying that the Second Amendment basically upheld the fact that they had the right to conceal carry, and that all these special requirements for concealed carry is unconstitutional. The court said, no, that's not the case. The Second Amendment does not endorse concealed carry, nor is it a constitutional right. You have the right to it in your home, as per, you know, Heller versus D.C., and also McDonald versus Chicago, but the Supreme Court has not said anything about it being anything about concealed carry. So that's another thing, you know, gun enthusiasts take that L. I mean, you know, with the 50 people killed, again, people are going to be going against the Second Amendment, kind of calling for more gun restraint, which, you know, it's a hot topic. It's kind of a topic in itself, which I have mixed views on, but this is not the point. These three events are important, but even more important is what it contributes to: the political climate in America. And now, the political climate in America has been pretty fucked up in the past year. Like, Donald Trump has just been roasting people. Hillary Clinton, oh my God, Hillary Clinton has just been disgusting me. She was on a radio show recently on The Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne the God, he asked her, he's like, Hillary, let me ask you something. What is something you always have in your purse? And she goes, you know what? I always have a bottle of
hot sauce. Hot sauce. Hot sauce. Hot sauce.
Smoke weed every day.
hot sauce. And he goes, oh, hot sauce, swag. So, you know what, Hillary, if you really think the black vote can be won so easily by saying you have hot sauce in your bag, not only are you ignorant, but you're a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. Like, this bitch wants the presidency so bad. Like, I'll vote for Trump just to keep her away from the presidency. And let me just say, I am not voting for Trump. I am not voting for Hillary. I am not voting for Sanders. I am not voting, period. Not really for any really ideological purpose, but just the fact that if you vote, your chances for jury duty go through the fucking roof. And I ain't trying to fuck with that, dude. Fuck that. The nation's future is not as important as a day off for me. I ain't going to court. Fuck that shit, bro. So, now, we go to the main point. Donald Trump. King Trump. Now, even before all these events happened, he was already on fire. He was trending on Twitter and on Reddit all Saturday night. Like, I went to all. Every post was about Donald Trump. And the reason being is that on Twitter, he basically said to Hillary Clinton, Obama has endorsed Hillary. So sad. And Hillary Clinton just says, delete your account. Nothing else, just delete your account. And then then an RNC member, I think the head of the RNC, just comes out and he's like, yeah, Hillary, if anyone knows about deleting things, it'd be you. And it's just like, he's fucking coming out. Everyone's roasting Hillary. And as funny as it is, as entertaining as it is, it's almost sad to see American politics devolve into like English Parliament, where you have people just roasting each other, making fun of each other. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like American government and American politics is better than that. But, you know, I'm a half full type of guy, you know what I mean? I look at the glass half full, so at least the shit's entertainment, right? You know, fuck it. I mean, who cares if the country's falling apart? Fuck it. So, Donald Trump has been on fire, and he's been fashioning himself as the second coming, not Jesus, Ronald Reagan. This guy, Ronald Wilson Reagan. This guy, he's an important figure in American history, and Donald Trump has tried to align himself as him. They're both Republican. They're both staunch conservatives. They both have, you know, ideas of tight foreign control and, you know, rule with an iron fist. Power is absolute. And recently, with these events that have been occurring, not only is Donald Trump, you know, even is being amplified, he's even more Reagan-esque, but Obama is starting to look like, if he didn't already look like, another Jimmy Carter. Now, if you don't know who Jimmy Carter is, he's the president that preceded Reagan. And I think to really understand Jimmy Carter and the phenomenon that Reagan was and what he came out of, you have to go back to a different time. You have to go to the 1970s. America is in the Vietnam War. We're losing. Americans themselves have low morale. They don't want to, you know, even be associated with the war. People feel like they're not being heard. Not only do they feel like they're not being heard, they know they're not being heard. One of my favorite quotes by Richard Nixon. God bless Richard Nixon. He really wasn't one of the best presidents. I mean, the only thing he did good was reunite economic ties with China. But I remember he was being asked by a reporter, you know, there's a lot of people outside the White House protesting. How do you feel, Mr. Richard Nixon? And he goes, I don't know. I've been watching football all day, and it's like, fuck me, dude. This guy's a savage. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm watching TV. I'm watching football, bitch. I don't give a fuck. So this is a time where things are very uncertain. America's very vulnerable. It's kind of during the age of Vietnamization, and what even adds to the L's that America caught was that in 1971, the United States versus New York Times Supreme Court case basically revealed that the executive branch of the government was lying to Congress. It was hiding things. It was creating military camps in Laos and Cambodia without the consent of Congress, which, by the way, Congress, by Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, has explicit power to declare war. I know I'm sounding like a fucking historian here, but I'm trying to teach you shit. I'm trying to teach you shit, man. And this is pretty interesting. History is pretty interesting, you know? And, basically, America was in a shit situation. So, what follows this shortly is Jimmy Carter. Another failure for America. Now, let me just say, Jimmy Carter was dealt a pretty shitty hand. You know, he came in at the time where there was a lot of instability in the world and in America, and he kind of made some bad decisions. I mean, two big L's that he caught. One was that he tried not to, his cabinet tried not to explicitly support Israel in their endeavor in the Middle East. And America basically caught a gigantic L on that. The Middle Easterners gave him a big fuck you with an oil embargo. The economic system was fucking hurting big time. It hurt a lot. A lot of people were worried what was going on with America, and they kind of saw Jimmy Carter not really reacting, you know, furiously, but, you know, American people, we need to come together, we need to work together. And he's actually, Jimmy Carter is like the first person to read hate comments. I was listening to a speech by him, and he's like, this dude in Texas says I'm an asshole. Well, okay, I disagree with that, but let's hear from someone else. Like, he's just reading all these hate comments.
A few of the typical comments that I wrote down. This from a Southern governor. Mr. President, you're not leading this nation. You're just managing the government.
It's like poor Jimmy Carter is just, he's trying to like hold on to his last bastion of hope of maybe we could come back from this, but he didn't. He caught another L later on because Iran was holding hostages and he tried to have a covert operation to go in and get them out, and it failed. One of the Blackhawks got shot down. So Vietnam failure, the U.S. insecurities failure, Jimmy Carter failure, and then here comes someone who promises to make America great again, Ronald Wilson Reagan. Ronald Reagan comes in. He says, fuck the world. He says, listen, I'm ruling with an iron fist. We're starting the war on drugs. We're starting the war on war. We're starting the Cold War. We're going to start a weapons stockpile. We're going to build nukes. And guess what? Russia has nukes, but I have an answer to Russia. The Star Wars program. So Star Wars program was pretty much in theory just a bunch of spaceships and things in space that would act as deterrents for nuclear war, basically shoot out nukes. It had ballistic missiles that could do that. And it's so, one of the best things, I think the Star Wars program is even better than the Declaration of Independence in terms of entertainment value. Just for the sole reason, in the middle of it, it just cuts to Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich just pops up, he's like, hi, I'm Newt Gingrich. And dude, he looks like a fucking suave Bond villain with his hair coiffed and everything. It's fucking, dude, if you get a moment, watch the Star Wars program video. This shit is hilarious. So, Ronald Reagan comes out. He makes America great again. The USSR fails. It falls to the hands of Ronald Reagan. And he brings sovereignty and democracy to the world. No longer is there Eastern and Western Berlin. There is just one Germany, a democratic Germany, because of Ronald Reagan. And, you know, really what made Reagan so successful was Jimmy Carter's failure, America's failure in the past. And this is what's going to make Donald Trump even better now. I mean, you cannot stump the Trump. He is here to stay. Because of the failures of the Obama administration, poor foreign policy, they decided to attack ISIS late in the game. A lot of people are chastising Obama for this. Again, making him like a mock Jimmy Carter. And Donald Trump coming in like the Ronald Reagan that he is. He's ready for war, ready for action. He's gonna become president. He's gonna be the 45th president. I congratulate it. I welcome it. He's ready for anything. He's ready for it. And I think that with these events, it just cements his place as president. It's going to act as a catalyst in his campaign. And it's highly unlikely for him to lose. And really, all I have left to say is game over.